Fortnite Season 4 has been out for a little while now, and I think I speak for most players when I say this season fixed a lot of the problems we had in Season 3. And while I absolutely love Season 4, you guys really liked our Season 3 most hated video, so I shall carry the torch again because while this season is great, it could be a lot better. The Doom Gauntlets desperately need a cooldown nerf, to mobile players not even being able to play the game. I mean, that's like the worst. These are 10 things players hate about Fortnite Season 4. Don't forget to drop a like if you agree with this list, and if you don't, let me know in the comments. Obviously, everyone has their own opinions, and yours matters just as much as ours. All right, no time to waste. Let's start complaining about number 10, the Doom Gauntlets. So Dr. Doom's Arcane Gauntlets are one of the most unique items in the entire loot pool right now, but they come at a cost. Taking out Dr. Doom before anyone else and getting your hands on the gauntlets is hard by itself because Doom's domain is insane, but the risk ends up being worth the reward. What most people find frustrating when they encounter someone with these gauntlets is, well, obviously the lack of the cooldown. While other mythic items in Season 4 have quite big cooldowns like the Silver Surfer's Board, which has 25-second cooldown, the Arcane Gauntlets literally have 0 cooldown. Each shot from these things does 35 damage, and without a cooldown, it's just a weapon with unlimited ammo, jump boosts, explosive damage, which just melts your materials, especially at endgame when you really need them. So because of this, it's just flat out extremely unfun to play against. In Season 4, you often get third party by people with these gauntlets, or like I said earlier, they'll just spam your builds in the last circle. It's one of the most frustrating things to fight against this season, and I hope Epic Games gives it like the tiny fix it needs to be in a better state. But moving on to number 9, we have mobile players not being able to play Season 4. Alright, if you're one of the majority and you play Fortnite on your console or PC, this next problem doesn't affect you, unless you have friends who play Fortnite on mobile, that is. Mobile gaming is a massive part of the industry, which means that being able to play Fortnite for free on your phone was huge for people who can't afford a console or gaming PC. It's why what happened between Epic Games and Apple absolutely sucks. Because of their beef, anyone who has an iPhone literally can't play Season 4 at all. If you try to look for Fortnite on the App Store, it's just gone now. Same goes for Google Play Store, although on Android you technically can download Fortnite from their official website, so it's not really a problem. Anyway, as for Apple, it's a big problem. I mean, I hope these two sort out their differences already so people can, like, I don't know, actually play Season 4. It's a really good season, so it sucks that Apple users have to miss out on it, and apparently over 60% of the 125 million players on iOS or Apple phones have quit. Yeah, I really hope this gets resolved soon. Number 8, the 100% chest spawns gone. One of the first things that was noticeable when you landed in Season 4 wasn't the new weapons or items, but instead a lack of them. In the last few years, landing at any random house guaranteed us at least some loot with a chest, maybe a couple floor weapons, but now in Season 4 you could land somewhere and it has a good chance of being completely empty. That's because Epic Games, for some reason, decided it would be a great idea to remove 100% chest spawn for Season 4. Don't ask me why they did, they just did. It's super annoying because the early game is now super hectic because everyone is rushing into houses, and if you run into a house that has no chests, it just sucks for you. Dropping in squads and your teammates all get loot, but you're sat there with freaking like one pro fishing rod and a med kit, it's a terrible feeling. All I gotta say is I really hope Epic adds 100% chest spawn right back because, like I said, it's ruining the feeling of the game. Coming in at number 7, we have the fishing update. One thing most players aren't talking about is the fact that fishing is pretty much pointless in Season 4, and even though we were introduced to a literal revamp in the form of Fishing Book, it's kind of flat out useless. Last season, fishing was a lot more balanced, because if you wanted to fish, you'd actually have to get a fishing rod or like a harpoon or something to go for it. However, in Season 4, there are so much more fish to collect, but why use a fishing rod when you could just use the Splode trick on fishing holes and remove the entire point of fishing in the first place? Oh yeah, if you haven't watched our Season 4 tips and tricks video, one huge tip is throwing an explosive at a fishing hole, or a boat, crash pad, shockwave, any of that, and you could just get all the fish from the spot. I mean, it's pretty funny considering Epic Games went through the whole trouble to add a fishing book and a pro fishing rod, both of which have become absolutely useless now. We should either remove the Splode trick or just allow only 1 or 2 fish max from a fishing hole. Next up for number 6, we have Boogie Bombs. So in Season 4, quite a lot of items were unvaulted and spiced up the loot pool by a fair amount. Although not all of these new additions were hits, because they have re-added one of the most love-hate items in Fortnite history, the infamous Boogie Bomb. Yeah, all of us both love and hate this thing because it could be super fun to use, especially when you could just use it to troll people. There are clips out there of people straight up looting a person's dead teammate right in front of them, and while they are fun to use, it's just if you're using it and not the other way around. With Boogie Bombs, if you get hit by one, there is literally only one counter in the entire game, and it's crash pads. It's just not that fun to play against, especially considering you could have a stack of like almost 10 Boogie Bombs now, like what? Number 5, the Combat Shotgun. In Chapter 1, the Combat Shotgun was genuinely one of the most fun shotguns in the game. It had a perfect mix between the pump and tac shotgun, but unfortunately, with the combat returning in Season 4, it's just not the same gun anymore. There were a lot of changes, and I guess when I say changes, it's just been absolutely nerfed into the ground. Like in Chapter 1, it was a super viable gun with good range, high damage, a lot of bullets, but now Epic has run the shotgun's overall damage into the ground. It's extremely nerfed now, and it makes the shotgun feel practically useless when you're fighting someone with a charge shotgun or a pump. But it is fun when you just land, especially in Doom's domain, so like I said, I'd say this one is more of like a 50-50 for sure. Coming in at number 4, we have Vaulted OG items. So we loved it when we looked at Season 4's patch notes and saw how many awesome items were unvaulted and added back into the loot pool. But then we took a peek at the list of items decided to be put back into the vault, and honestly, I just kind of feel like they're not the best choices. For starters, Epic straight up vaulted launch pads. I mean, they had been gone from the game for so long, and we finally got them back last season, but it seems that Epic didn't like them. So yeah, those are gone, and I'm not gonna lie, I miss them. They were replaced with bouncers, which isn't too bad, but there was one item which was vaulted, which I'm kind of annoyed about. The tac shotgun has never been vaulted in Fortnite's entire history. It's one of the rare weapons that was never vaulted from day one, and with Season 4, Epic decided to change that by removing the tac from the loot pool. Like, instead of replacing the charge shotgun with the combat shotgun, they instead replaced the tac. So now we have 2 hated shotguns in the loot pool with like no alternative. The tac shotgun has been in game for so long, it's actually kind of difficult to imagine that it's not part of Fortnite anymore. It's like if Fortnite vaulted scars or got rid of llamas. It felt so essential to the game, and Fortnite kind of feels different without it. I think also the tac was a great weapon for players who weren't good. It allowed you to get multiple shots off where a pro only has that one pump. But it might train these kids to get better with the pump, and let's just hope that's what comes out of it. Number 3, the metal problem. One of the best things that happened to Fortnite recently was the Joyride update last season. We finally have accessible vehicles all around the map, which makes the pacing of the game a little less harsh. Although, there is one downside to making all the cars drivable, and I don't even think Epic expected this to happen. You might have noticed when playing Fortnite that your amount of materials is probably different. You're not building high stacks of metal anymore like you used to, and that's because it's extremely hard to now find metal on the map, and it's because of the Joyride update. One of the side effects of making every car in the game drivable is that Epic have straight up removed the main source of metal from every location on the island. No more farming all those cars at Risky Reels or getting yourself easy mats in Pleasant, or I mean I guess now Doom's Domain, because all the cars are now actual vehicles which give like no materials and it's super slow. Anyway, it sucks, so I hope that Epic will change it back so cars actually give good mats again. Number 2, we have Thor's Hammer. There is a super annoying bug in Season 4 that almost everyone with Thor's pickaxe has definitely noticed. Usually, when you switch to your pickaxe, you can almost instantly begin using it, but when you're using Thor's hammer, it's different. For some reason, there's a little delay when you pull out his hammer, and for a second, you're just standing there doing nothing before you could actually hit walls. I'm serious, it is so noticeable and can be a really big nuisance when you just want to farm a few trees. It's especially a problem when you're trying to take someone's wall in a box. I mean, think about it. Switching between your gun and pickaxe is crucial in that time, and this bug really ruins it. I think also with Thor being the main selling point and having the hammer was like everyone's dream, right? But with a weird bug that gives you a disadvantage, it's just not worth it. Epic Games, if you're watching, please fix. And finally, number 1, third parties. The most hated thing in Season 4 has to be third partying. To be fair to Epic, they just can't win. We want more mobility, but it means more third partying, and if they try to fix that, we complain that there isn't enough mobility. To be honest, even us at Top 5 Gaming are guilty of this. Another side effect of how much mobility we have on the island right now is that you could crack someone's shield and they could just hop in a vehicle, peel away, or use shockwaves, crash pads, bouncers. I mean, it's your pick here. We even got rifts. So I'm not saying to get rid of mobility and to make it worse. Honestly, I don't have a solution here. All I gotta say is that mobility is at an all-time high right now in Fortnite, and we just need a little more balance in the equation. I don't know, do you agree? Let us know in the comments, but anyways, click on screen right now to check out this video. This has been Tommy, and you're watching Top 5 Gaming.